Good afternoon. Today is day 3 of our Good Wealth Protectionist Power 10-day sprint. And today we are standing right here at the home of the great Frederick Douglass, a man who escaped physical slavery and spent the rest of his life teaching America a simple truth. Freedom is never just handed to you. You have to understand it. You have to protect it. You have to keep it alive. And as I stand on this historic ground today, I see a different kind of trap still holding millions of families captive. It is not a trap made of iron chains. It is not a trap built with prison walls. It is a trap made of financial vulnerability. A trap that springs open every time a family loses a parent and loses their financial foundation at the exact same time. A trap that appears when grief arrives carrying an eviction notice, when sadness arrives carrying unpaid bills, when a funeral is followed by years of financial uncertainty, when a family loses a provider and suddenly discovers they have nowhere to turn. There are two worlds in America today: the world of the informed and the world of the exposed. The informed understand how money moves, how taxes work, how wealth transfers, how protection operates. The exposed are left to guess, and guessing is expensive. The wealthy have a playbook. For generations, they have sat in boardrooms, universities, and financial planning meetings, learning how to build walls around their wealth and fortresses around their families. But today we are pulling back the curtain. Today we are exposing the educational loopholes. Today we are bringing information that has lived behind closed doors directly into our communities. Because information belongs to everyone, and knowledge is power. So let us pull back the curtain. Let us expose what too many families have never been taught. The first loophole is what I call the funeral trap. The system has conditioned many people to believe life insurance exists for one purpose: to pay for a funeral. And while funeral expenses matter, that is one of the smallest uses for life insurance. Studies consistently show that Black Americans purchase life insurance at high rates, but many of those policies are designed only to cover final expenses. In other words, we are buying coverage for the casket, while wealthy families are buying coverage for the future, the exact same financial tool, but a completely different strategy. The wealthy understand that under Section 7702 of the tax code, certain life insurance policies can be structured to provide protection while also accumulating cash value over time. They use those dollars to help fund businesses, purchase assets, create opportunities, support future generations, and transfer wealth. We are paying for the funeral. They are planning for the future. And if we learn the rules, there is no reason our families cannot do both. The second loophole is the pricing myth. This one is costing families every single day. Research shows consumers often believe life insurance costs 7 to 12 times more than it actually does. 7 to 12 times. Think about that. Millions of people have already talked themselves out of protection before ever asking for a quote. They have abandoned the bridge before seeing the river. They have walked away from the fortress before seeing the storm. In many cases, a healthy 30-year-old can obtain approximately $250,000 of term life insurance coverage for around $13 per month. $13. Less than many people spend on lunch. Less than many people spend on food delivery fees. Less than many people spend scrolling through convenience purchases they forget about by next week. Yet people continue to believe protection costs hundreds of dollars because nobody ever showed them the truth. The third loophole is the job trap. Millions of working families believe they are protected because they have life insurance through their employer. And that protection is certainly better than nothing, but there is a problem. Most workplace coverage is limited, often 1 or 2 times annual salary, and there is another danger. The protection is connected to the job. Lose the job, lose the coverage. Think about that. During a layoff, a family can lose its paycheck and its protection at the exact same moment. The income disappears. The shield disappears. The security disappears. All at once. And that is why relying solely on workplace coverage can create a false sense of security. Now let's talk about the real cost of exposure. Because when a family falls into crisis, it never affects only one household. The grandparents step in. The church steps in. Friends step in. Neighbors step in, coworkers step in, entire communities begin carrying a burden that could have been reduced through preparation. We have become experts at responding to emergencies, but we have not spent enough time preventing them. We keep building ambulances when we should be building bridges. We keep funding funerals when we should be funding futures. We keep reacting when we should be preparing. And what about the family living below the poverty line? What about the mother working two jobs? What about the father trying to stretch every dollar? What about the grandparent raising grandchildren? The answer is not shame. The answer is education. The answer is understanding options. The answer is starting somewhere. Protection is not about perfection. Protection is about progress. And when resources are limited, communities can still help one another. Churches can host education nights. Business owners can sponsor workshops. Professionals can volunteer knowledge. Families can share information. Neighbors can help neighbors because preparation is always cheaper than crisis, and knowledge is always more valuable than ignorance. Frederick Douglass once said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will." So today we must place a demand on ourselves: more preparation for our families, more education for our minds, more protection for our bloodlines. Our children deserve more than our wishes. They deserve our plans. Our families deserve more than our intentions. They deserve our protection. Our communities deserve more than surviving disaster. They deserve resilience. They deserve stability. They deserve strength. Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to do one thing. Talk to someone you love. Not next week, not next month, tonight. Ask them one simple question. Are you protected? Because movements are not built by speeches. They are built by conversations. Conversations become action. Action becomes preparation. Preparation becomes power. My name is Rahdric C, founder of Goodwealth, and this is day 3 of the Protection is Power 10-day sprint. Learn what has been hidden, protect what you love, teach the next generation, because protection is power. Every family, every community, every future. God bless you.